Tonight, 30 arrests, $1 billion seized, and a government official accused of protecting a billion-dollar criminal empire operating on American soil.
4:47 a.m. San Francisco, California. Federal agents are stacked outside a massage parlor on Geary Boulevard. The street is wet from overnight rain. Steam rising from the sewers in ghostly columns. Neon signs flicker weakly against storefront windows advertising wellness, therapy, healing. But behind those frosted glass doors, there is no healing. Only exploitation engineered by one of the most sophisticated transnational criminal networks ever discovered operating on U.S. soil. This is the morning that the FBI, ICE, and DEA launched the largest coordinated strike against Chinese organized crime syndicates in American history. Over 30 suspects arrested, $1 billion in assets seized. And what investigators found inside these seemingly ordinary businesses will shake your understanding of how deeply foreign criminal empires have embedded themselves into the fabric of American cities. This is not just about prostitution. This is about modern slavery, money laundering on an industrial scale, and a shadow government operating within our own borders. You are about to witness how federal agents dismantled a billion-dollar criminal machine that stretched from the financial towers of Hong Kong to quiet, suburban strip malls across California, New York, and Texas. At exactly 4:47 a.m., FBI tactical teams hit 6 massage parlors simultaneously across San Francisco and Oakland. Flashbangs detonate in controlled bursts. Hydraulic rams splinter reinforced doors. Agents in black tactical gear pour through the entry points like a flood of silent fury. Inside the first location on Geary Boulevard, the air smells of incense, sweat, and fear. The massage tables are draped in cheap silk, but the women hiding behind locked doors in the back rooms are not massage therapists. They are prisoners. Agents move room to room, clearing hallways lined with fake bamboo wallpaper and motivational posters written in Mandarin. They find women huddled together, some barefoot, some wrapped in thin blankets. Their eyes are wide with terror. They do not see rescuers. They see authority figures who have always been taught to fear. One woman, 24 years old, is found locked inside a storage closet barely large enough to stand in. She has been living there for 3 months, but the real discovery comes when agents breach the manager's office. Inside a hidden safe behind a false electrical panel, they find encrypted hard drives, ledgers written in shorthand code, and 11 burner phones still pinging with messages from overseas contacts. One phone contains a direct line to a contact listed only as Dragon Head in Fuzhou, China. The messages are cold and transactional, discussing shipments of women like inventory, rotations between cities, and profit margins calculated down to the last dollar. This is not a local vice operation. This is command-level coordination from overseas criminal syndicates operating a billion-dollar shadow economy on American soil. The encrypted hard drives seized during the morning raids are cracked open by federal cyber analysts within hours. What they find is a digital map of an empire. The network is vast, sprawling, and devastatingly efficient. It has a name buried in the file directories: Operation Golden Phoenix. The analysts stare at the screen as the network diagram expands. Shell companies registered in Delaware and Nevada with names like Pacific Wellness Group, Golden Lotus Holdings, Jade Health Services, fake business licenses, fraudulent tax filing, sham consulting firms that exist only on paper. The money flows through dozens of ghost corporations, each one designed to obscure the origin and destination of funds. Transfers are disguised as payments for massage oils, therapy equipment, wellness training seminars. But the real product being moved is human beings. The financial forensics team tracks the money backward. Millions of dollars are funneled through underground banking system known as Hawala networks, where cash is moved across borders without ever touching a regulated financial institution. From San Francisco to New York to Houston, the money flows like water through invisible pipes. It ends up in Hong Kong, Macau, and Fuzhou, where it is laundered through luxury real estate purchases, high-stakes casino chips, and gold bullion transactions. But the most disturbing discovery is the identity of the man at the top of the American side of this operation. His digital signature is embedded in authorization codes for property leases, visa applications, and payroll systems across 12 states. His name is Governor Richard Tang, a fictional high-ranking official who has used his political influence to shield this criminal network for over 5 years. Tang is not just complicit, he is the architect. He has turned California into a safe harbor for Chinese organized crime, providing political cover, blocking state-level investigations, and ensuring that local law enforcement turns a blind eye to the massage parlors operating under his protection. Federal investigators find encrypted emails between Tang and syndicate leaders discussing expansion plans, new cities to target, and strategies to avoid detection. One message reads, "California is now secure. We move to Texas next. The infrastructure is ready." This is not corruption. This is engineered treason. This is a government official who has sold out American communities to foreign crime lords in exchange for offshore payments and political support from wealthy Chinese nationals. The FBI realizes they are not just chasing a prostitution ring. They are dismantling a transnational criminal enterprise that has infiltrated American politics, law enforcement, and financial system. The operation has just begun, and what comes next will be worse. The pre-dawn sky over Los Angeles is bruised purple and orange. Inside a secure command center, over 200 federal agents from the FBI, ICE/DEA, and Homeland Security investigations gather around a massive digital screen. The map is covered with red markers, each one representing a massage parlor, safe house, or financial hub controlled by the Golden Phoenix Network. There are 47 locations across California, New York, and Texas. All of them are about to be hit simultaneously. The mission is called Operation Iron Gate, and it is the largest coordinated strike against human trafficking and organized crime in U.S. history. Over 1,000 federal agents are deployed. SWAT teams are mobilized in armored vehicles. Black Hawk helicopters circle above target zones in Los Angeles, San Francisco, Houston, and New York City. ICE special response teams are positioned at airports and border crossings to intercept any suspects attempting to flee the country. The DEA is standing by to seize narcotics that investigators suspect are being moved through the same smuggling routes used for human trafficking. At exactly 50:18 a.m., the operation goes live. In Los Angeles, FBI tactical teams storm a luxury apartment complex in Koreatown. The penthouse suite is registered to a shell company called Golden Lotus Holding. Inside, agents find 3 Chinese nationals managing a digital command center with multiple monitors streaming live feeds from massage parlors across the West Coast. They are watching their network in real time, monitoring transactions, tracking the movement of women between locations, and coordinating with handlers in China. When agents breach the door, the suspects attempt to destroy laptops and phones, but federal forensics teams recover the data within minutes. In Houston, ICE agents hit a massage parlor operating out of a converted office building near the Galleria. The front door is reinforced steel disguised as cheap wood paneling. When the ram hits, it takes 3 strikes to breach. Inside, agents find 12 women living in a single back room with no window. The air is stale and suffocating. The women are malnourished, exhausted, and traumatized. They have been moved from New York to Texas over the past 6 months, rotated through the network to prevent them from forming connections or seeking help. One woman tells investigators through a translator that she was promised a job as a hotel housekeeper. Instead, she was forced into debt bondage and told she owed $70,000 for her travel and visa costs. In New York City, DEA agents raid a massage parlor in Flushing, Queens. The building is connected to 2 neighboring businesses through a hidden internal corridor. Agents discover that the syndicate has literally embedded itself into the architecture of the neighborhood, using secret passageways to move women and evidence between locations if one site is ever compromised. Inside the hidden corridor, agents find duffel bags filled with cash totaling over $4 million. They also find ledgers detailing weekly profits from each massage parlor in the network. The numbers are staggering. The New York cell alone was generating over $2 million per month. By noon, the raids are complete. 30 high-level coordinators are in federal custody. Over 60 victims are rescued and placed into protective services. Federal agents seize over $1 billion in assets, including luxury real estate, offshore bank accounts, cryptocurrency wallets, and physical cash hidden in safe houses across 3 states. They also seize encrypted servers containing the entire operational database of the Golden Phoenix Network, including client lists, financial records, and communications with overseas handlers. The underworld took more damage in 6 hours than it had in the last 6 years. As the dust settles and the arrested suspects are processed into federal detention, investigators turn their attention to the seized servers and financial record. What they find is a masterclass in corruption and betrayal. The Golden Phoenix Network did not just bribe a few cops or pay off a local official. They infiltrated law enforcement at every level, turning entire departments into complicit partners in their criminal enterprise. Encrypted emails reveal that over 20 police officers, border patrol agents, and state officials were on the syndicate's payroll. They were paid between $5,000 and $50,000 per month depending on their rank and access. Their job was simple: look the other way. Border Patrol agents were instructed to relax inspections on specific dates when smuggling convoys were crossing from Mexico into California. Local police officers were given lists of massage parlors to avoid during vice sweeps. State officials blocked investigations and buried reports that could have exposed the network years earlier. But the most devastating discovery is the role of Governor Richard Tang. Investigators find evidence that Tang personally authorized business licenses for dozens of massage parlors controlled by the syndicate. He used his political influence to fast-track visa applications for Chinese nationals who were later trafficked into forced labor. He accepted campaign donations funneled through the syndicate's shell companies, disguised as contributions from legitimate wellness businesses. In exchange, Tang ensured that state-level law enforcement never conducted serious investigations into the massage parlor industry. One encrypted email between Tang and a syndicate leader reads, "The state is yours. Expand freely. I will handle the politics." Federal prosecutors describe this as a parallel enforcement system, a shadow government that existed to protect and expand the Golden Phoenix network. Tang did not just enable human traffic, he weaponized his political power to build a billion-dollar criminal empire on American soil. The betrayal runs deep. Honest officers who tried to investigate the massage parlors were reassigned or forced into early retirement. Internal whistleblowers were silenced through intimidation and career sabotage. The syndicate had turned the badge into a tool of oppression, using the very institutions designed to protect the public as shields for their crimes. Federal agents begin the process of arresting the compromised officials. Senior sergeants, deputy chiefs, and state planners are taken into custody in coordinated operations across California. The message from the FBI is clear: the badge will be rebuilt from the ground up. Every corrupt official will be prosecuted under RICO statutes, the same legal hammer used to destroy organized crime families and international drug cartels. As investigators dig deeper into the financial record, they realize that the Golden Phoenix network is not limited to California, New York, and Texas. The syndicate has established operations in over 20 states, using the same playbook in every location. Massage parlors registered under shell company. Women trafficked from China using fraudulent visas. Money laundered through hawala networks and offshore accounts. Political officials bribed or blackmailed into providing protection. The syndicate moves women across state lines every few months, rotating them through the network to prevent them from learning English, building relationships, or seeking help from local authorities. This rotation system is designed to keep the victims in a state of permanent transit, isolated, and terrified. They are treated as replaceable assets in a global supply chain, moved like inventory between cities based on demand and profitability. Federal investigators estimate that the Golden Phoenix network was moving over 300 women per year through its trafficking pipeline. The women were lured from rural provinces in China with promises of legitimate work in America. They were told they would be waitresses, housekeepers, or factory work. Instead, they were trapped in debt bondage the moment they arrived, forced to work 20-hour shifts in massage parlors, and threatened with violence or deportation if they tried to escape. The network generated over $1 billion in revenue over the past 5 years. That money was funneled back to China through sophisticated laundering techniques, including cryptocurrency transactions, bulk cash smuggling, and trade-based money laundering schemes. The syndicate used front companies to import goods from China at inflated prices, allowing them to disguise criminal proceeds as legitimate business revenue. But the most chilling discovery is the long-term plan buried in the seized files. The syndicate was not content with operating in the shadows. They were building a permanent infrastructure, a shadow economy that could operate openly under the protection of compromised officials. Governor Tang and other corrupt politicians were part of a larger strategy to turn American cities into secure zones for Chinese organized crime, where the syndicate could operate freely without fear of prosecution. This was not just infiltration. This was colonization. As federal agents escort the rescued victims into protective custody, the human toll of the Golden Phoenix network becomes devastatingly clear. These women were not criminals. They were survivors of industrial-scale exploitation. Many of them had been trafficked for years, moved between cities, forced to service dozens of clients per day, and denied basic human dignity. They lived in constant fear, trapped by debt, language barriers, and the threat of violence. The FBI and ICE are working with victim advocacy organizations to provide the survivors with T-visas, allowing them to remain in the United States legally while they rebuild their lives. They are being offered trauma counseling, legal assistance, and pathways to permanent residency. But the psychological scars of their ordeal will take years to heal. For the American communities where these massage parlors operated, the revelation is a wake-up call. These businesses were hiding in plain sight, tucked into strip malls and commercial districts across the country. They looked like ordinary storefronts, but behind the frosted glass and neon signs, human beings were being bought and sold like commodities. Power does not always announce itself with violence. Sometimes it only needs silence and ambition. The Golden Phoenix Network thrived because communities were either unaware or unwilling to look too closely. The syndicate relied on our indifference, our discomfort, our willingness to believe that if something looks normal on the surface, it must be normal underneath. But the cost of that silence is measured in human lives. Every woman trafficked through this network was someone's daughter, someone's sister, someone's friend. They came to America with hope and were met with exploitation. They trusted the promise of opportunity and were met with chains. This is not just a story about organized crime. This is a story about what happens when corruption goes unchallenged, when political power is used to shield criminals instead of protecting the innocent, and when foreign criminal syndicates are allowed to operate freely on American soil. Operation Iron Gate is complete, but the war is far from over. Federal prosecutors are building ratio cases against every suspect arrested during the raids. Governor Tang faces multiple federal charges, including racketeering, money laundering, human trafficking, and conspiracy to obstruct justice. If convicted, he will spend the rest of his life in federal prison. The FBI has issued a warning to every other criminal syndicate operating in the United States. The days of hiding in the shadows are ending. Federal task forces are actively monitoring massage parlors, brothel, and other businesses suspected of involvement in human trafficking. Whistleblowers are being encouraged to come forward with information, and the American public is being urged to stay vigilant. If you see something, say something. If a business in your neighborhood seems suspicious, report it to local authorities or the National Human Trafficking Hotline. These networks rely on silence to survive. Your voice can break that silence. If you are still watching, tap like so more people see this story exposed. If you want this corruption dragged into the light, share this video with your community. The more people who know about these operations, the harder it becomes for criminal syndicates to operate freely. This story is a fictional dramatization, but the issues it explores are devastatingly real. Human trafficking is happening in every state in America. Organized crime syndicates are using our cities as profit centers, and corrupt officials are enabling these crimes in exchange for money and power. The FBI and ICE have proven that with coordination, determination, and the courage to confront uncomfortable truths, these networks can be dismantled. But the fight requires all of us. It requires vigilance. It requires moral courage. It requires a refusal to look away. Freedom requires vigilance. Democracy requires participation. Justice requires action. This is the warning. This is the call. This is the moment to decide whether we will allow foreign criminal empires to colonize our communities, or whether we will stand together and reclaim the safety and dignity that every American deserves. The Golden Phoenix Network is broken, but the battle for the soul of our communities continues. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and never stop fighting for what is right.